Oh, this is so scary. Artist tries YouTube. Oh, I don't know if I want to do this anymore. This is so scary. I'm so scared. Hi guys, welcome to my channel, Artist Tries. Welcome to my first video ever. Oh, so scary. Anyways, the reason why I wanted to do this was because I'm currently a film student, and in my program we don't actually get to do much actual filming, and because of that I wanted to sort of try some stuff outside of the classroom and be able to build my skills. Obviously COVID is going on right now, which really sucks, and originally my plan was that this summer I was gonna go and do a bunch of volunteering and get a lot of on-job experience. But since I can't do that, we're stuck with a bedsheet taped to a wall and a camera and just sort of doing what I am gonna try, I guess. I've had this idea kind of running around in my head for a long time, and because I've been in school, it's sort of been on the back burner, but I kind of feel like there's no better time, I guess, to start now, because I feel like all of the excuses that I had in putting something off are kind of gone because of COVID and everything. That I don't have school to go to, I don't have a job to go to right now, so I have just a ton of free time on my hands. And I know that a lot of other people are struggling with like paying rent or doing like basic survival things, and I'm really fortunate that I still live at home with my parents and that I don't need to get a job just to put food on the table, which I consider myself very lucky. Anyways, another reason why I really wanted to do that was because I really want to have fun, and I kind of want to just sort of expand my creativity, as cheesy as that sounds. I want to be able to like try different things and try a lot of new things, and I feel like in a way this is sort of what's going to keep me accountable to actually follow through, because I am so good at putting off things and not actually sitting down and getting something done and actually taking the time to focus on something. I'll start something and then after like 5 minutes I'll just stop and be like, I can do something else, or I'll just like scroll on Instagram for like 3 hours. So having the idea of a channel called Artist Tries initially came from the idea of just kind of wanting to try a bunch of different things, as I said before. I thought it would be a really fun idea to sort of consider that, like, I consider myself a self-taught artist, and I thought it would be really interesting to see how I can apply my artistic skills, if you can call it that, to other things that aren't like traditionally thought of as artistic. So I think it'd be really cool to do a bunch of different things that are kind of outside of the box but also still connected to art. So like for some things in future I'd like to do like cosplay, or I'd like to create cabinets or do like woodworking again, because I used to do it and it was really fun. And I think that it would just be really cool to see how my artistic talents that I've had can sort of translate to different things. So after I kind of figured out that I had a general idea of Artist Tries and I had my general sort of platform, I guess, that I wanted to pursue, I decided to start by sort of writing everything down in a notebook, because I find having like a physical object is so much easier to remember than all of these documents on the computer, because like I just lose track of everything and you name everything like just random like key smashes. So I just started kind of jotting down ideas, so potential things that I want to try, like give watercolor a proper try, but I know that I'm not very good at being patient and waiting for it to dry, so I think that'd be really cool as one of the ideas. And I started writing down like pros and cons, so like supplies that I'd need to buy, or just sort of putting the time aside to like film the video, and what kind of like camera gear that I'd need to get the right shots and sort of have like an above view to look down on it, because holding your phone just only goes so far, I guess. So after I had the main idea and started writing down a few things, I decided that the next step was actually making a YouTube channel. So what I did was I first, like all the regular processes, I created a new email specifically for this channel, and then through the Google links and everything I created a YouTube channel, and for that I decided that I would need some banner art as well as a logo, which was super fun in making. For my YouTube banner, I sort of wanted to set the general aesthetic of the channel and the color scheme by doing that. So what I did was I actually went to my bathroom, which has a lot of pinks and whites and stuff, and I took a picture of like the corner of the bathtub, and it was cropped so that like the toilet was just outside of it actually. And I arranged a bunch of plants that I have because I can't keep the plants in my room because it's so dark that they just die, which is really sad. So I put them in the bathroom so they can actually get like humidity and light. So I took those plants and I put them on the bathtub and I sort of arranged them so that they looked really pretty, I think. And then after that I just took a picture on my phone and imported that to my tablet so that I could draw on top and add a few details. So I decided that a lot of like journals and like washi tapes have like grid patterns, which I really liked. So I took a grid pattern and I drew it like line by line actually, and then I just imported that on top of it and then brought down the opacity so that it wasn't like super overpowering white and everything, which I think it turned out pretty cute. I played around with like drawing some like extra little flowers here and there or plants, but it turned out to look like really cheesy and like superimposed clip art. So I was like, let's pass on that today. And then finally what I did was that I color picked a bunch of different squares from it so that I could, or a bunch of different colors from the original photo so that I could have a bit of colors on the side just to represent the color palette, because I think like those paint chip cards that you get are just like so cute and aesthetic, so I kind of wanted to tie that in. And additionally, by doing that, it gave me a palette to work from for my logo. What I first did to create my logo was I actually just was playing around with my tablet and I was just drawing using the Autodesk Sketchbook app, which I find is super useful for just sort of playing around. And I knew that I wanted it to just be an abbreviation of the artist tries, so initially the first two letters, A and T. And so I just sort of played around with like how the letters looked and everything, and then like what kind of font I wanted to use. And the final logo that I will put here actually was the first rendition that I did. I thought that like cursive looks really pretty and stuff, and I wanted them to interconnect, so I just made an A and then added a little stroke for the T to go around it. Originally I sort of wanted to play around with like what I wanted in the background of the A and T, because I didn't really sort of want it to just be like a blank color or like just sort of nothingness, I guess. So what I did was I initially drew like a bunch of really small flowers and I layered that on it, which I will show over here. It sort of gave me like tryptophobic vibes, so I was like, maybe not do that. And then I sort of reduced it and just used a few flowers here and there, as well as another more detailed flower on the side of the T. So initially when I was creating a bunch of ideas for YouTube and I was sort of figuring out what I was going to do and how I was going to plan everything, I realized that I would need cameras, or one camera really, I'm too broke for more than one, and audio equipment, as well as different lighting and just sort of a general space where I could film. So in order to kind of figure out what I wanted to do, I wanted to also do some research on what kind of equipment I needed to get. I also would like to just say that you don't need an actual like physical camera to record. You can always use your laptop or your iPhone or like your phone. I don't have an iPhone, I don't know why I said that. But with film, you can make a really, really good film on really crappy equipment if it has a good story. And Hollywood proves that you can make a lot of really bad films with tons of money behind the budget. So it really doesn't matter what you film on, it's just kind of sort of getting out there and just getting it to it and actually just filming, which is what I've kind of had a problem with, but I'm kind of buckling down and here I am. In order to film, I decided to use my dad's camera that he has, and he has a Sony Alpha, and it's a mirrorless camera. It works really well. The only sort of downsides to it, I guess, are the fact that it doesn't have a little flip lens like most cameras do. It flips like sort of crooked, I guess. Like if this is the body, it kind of flips like sideways, so it doesn't actually flip out and you can't see yourself like selfie mode, I guess. Also, when I'm filming this video, it actually, after like 15 minutes, it overheats and then I have to stop and I have to restart again, so that's fun. My dad also has a bunch of different lenses, so right now I'm using a fairly standard lens, I guess. I don't know what it is exactly. I will go check. I'm sorry. In order to record audio, I know that most in-body audios for cameras are not really the best or the greatest, so I wanted to get another microphone. You can sort of research into different microphones. Each microphone has a different kind of pattern to it, which is basically saying how they will record sound. So the one that I got is the Takstar microphone. It's compared to the Rode microphone, except for it's like really cheap and less good quality, I guess, but so far it's been doing pretty well. Additionally, on this microphone, it's really cool. I found, I will show a photo of it somewhere, like, I'm not sure where, and basically on the side you can adjust the frequencies so that it can take out the low frequencies, so like distraction noises like your fridge or microphone, or microwave, sorry, won't get in the way kind of thing, as well as you can adjust the volume so that it will actually read louder, which is really nice because I kind of talk quiet, so it'll be nice to sort of see how that works. Experimentation. I'd also like to talk about, just quickly, the difference between condenser microphones and dynamic microphones. So dynamic microphones are better for like really loud noises, like sort of like drums or something like that, whereas condenser microphones are more sensitive and they pick up smaller noises. So for me personally, I would love to get a second microphone that's a condenser microphone used sort of like for like radio talk shows, where I could record separate voiceovers, especially when I'm doing like art and just showing a photo or a video of me painting, and I can voice over it. But your girl broke, so we're not doing that. We're just using this one for now, and hopefully in the future I can get another one, and when I do, I will definitely show you guys. Another thing to keep in mind when you're filming is to have nice lighting and enough light, basically. So I'd like to think I'm fairly well lit right now, and because of that I have my window open, or my curtains I should say, and I'm getting a lot of nice natural light, and it's always best to film in natural light. If you can't do that, just switch on a bunch of lights and sort of keep yourself nicely illuminated so you're not getting a lot of harsh shadows, and also so that you're in focus and the camera has enough light to actually see your figure. I also have this other tiny little baby light that is super powerful. It is the Moman Video LED light, and usually at night I will use this one instead because it gives you a lot of light and it's super powerful. Also, when you're filming and doing different lighting, you can use gels. So I have these, and they're basically different colors of plastic that are heat resistant. But you can usually use them on lights so that you can change the lighting. So if you're doing like a photo shoot or something and you want a bunch of red light on the person, you will just stick one of these bad boys over the light, and then when you turn it on, it will give you red light. That was really awkward, I'm sorry. The other side of filming would be editing, and editing I find is super fun. It can be really relaxing or stressful if you leave it to last minute, but it's just very sort of, you get to show who you are in how you edit your videos. So like if a bunch of people were given the same footage, depending on how they edit it, it can be totally different films. For me, when I was getting editing software, I really wanted it to be user-friendly and preferably pretty cheap. One of the softwares that was most recommended to me was DaVinci Resolve. I did some looking into it, and DaVinci Resolve has two different versions. It has a studio version, which you do pay for, and a free version, which is super nice because it still has a lot of the really good qualities that the studio version has, but it is free for the general public. Ideally, I think that if I sort of had it my way, I would have chosen Final Cut Pro because it's what I'm familiar with. Like at school, that is what I use for my projects, but it does have a price tag of $300, and I don't really have that money right now, and I didn't really want to sort of commit to it. It is a flat fee, which is super nice because you only have to pay it once, whereas with other products like Adobe, you have to pay a sort of monthly or yearly fee, and you don't actually own the software, you just have access to use it. That being said, I am using Premiere Pro from Adobe on a different device through a friend, which I'm super thankful for. Finally, I would like to address music, as there are a lot of different styles and sort of background themes that can come into a video through the music. Because this is an art channel, I would like to give you guys an idea of what kind of art I do make. I will be inserting a few images here and there because I don't have the pieces on me at the moment, but I do have a few just to show you. Over here I have a little box that I painted. It sort of is inspired by like tarot cards and everything. So you have the sun, the moon, and then just sort of stars on the side. I find it super cute. Over here I also have a little box that I painted. It's just a regular wooden box, and I painted a little bee in the middle with cherry blossoms because I like those colors. We have this piece over here. It is on the smaller side. I do like working with small ones because then I can sort of experiment and just sort of do a bunch of different things. Here we just have a person sort of looking out with a bit of flowers around their head. This is my most recent one that I've done actually, and I just sort of wanted to sort of try to apply how I draw people into a painting. So actually what I did was I started with markers and everything, but then they bled and I had to paint over it a lot, so I just used a really fine brush and did all the line work that way. I have a few canvases. I used to not really enjoy drawing people that often just because I found it quite difficult. So here we have a landscape. This was actually a paint along that I did with a few friends, and there, still crooked. There we go, kind of. And basically it's just kind of a landscape with a tree. Fun. And here's another piece that I had. It's basically just sort of like I was playing around with colors, and I found that it was really hard to actually blend a lot of this stuff. So what I did was I actually did a lot of finger painting with like her skin tones and everything because I found that it was easier to use my fingers to blend. So finger painting, always fun. Those are all some very traditional pieces that I've done, which have all actually used paint, which I'm kind of realizing now. But I have done other stuff, like I've done pencil, watercolor, all of the above kind of thing, and I'll be adding a few examples here as well. But I've also done some more sort of out-of-the-box things like woodworking as well as pottery, and in the future I would like to sort of explore those more and sort of go into actually creating something interesting. Another thing to consider when I was making these videos was how I wanted to script it. I knew that I didn't want to have like an actual movie script where I'd have like location and then like the proper formatting and everything. So I first started trying to just sort of like write everything down, like key points that I want to talk about in a notebook, but then I realized that it would be sort of loud to just flip through pages on the side of my video or anything like that. So I ended up moving things digitally, and I do have a small document on my computer right in front of me actually that just has bullet points that I kind of want to tick off when I'm talking, and just things to kind of prompt me if I sort of run out of things to say or if it kind of trails off awkwardly. I would just like to say, kind of as a bit of like a baseline for everything, is that I am really doing this for fun. Like all the reasons that I've said before, but I really just want to have a space where I can do things that I enjoy and make videos at the same time. Like that's kind of what I want to do with my life. So I think it'd be really fun to just have some documentation of my journey and getting better at like filming things and editing and just sort of my entire creative process. I think it'd be really cool. Anyways, I just want to say thank you so much for taking the time to actually watch this, even if you just sort of clicked on it for fun or whatever. If you're interested in seeing more of this journey that I'm kind of taking, feel free to subscribe. Consider leaving a comment, maybe letting me know some feedback on my videos, or just sort of what you want to see in the future, or even any tips and tricks you have for starting off and making videos in general. I'd be so open to just hearing anything. That would be honestly so amazing to get feedback. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. I hope there's nothing I forgot. First cut. Okay.